Okay, so I just wanted to share with you guys the small change that happened in the book. Turns out that with this particular bracket book from Tim Holtz, the hitch fastener is just not long enough to thread onto itself. So what ended up happening is that I pulled this off and the whole hitch fastener came right out. So I had to improvise and try to find another solution. But I already had this on the book, and you know, the papers were all covered and everything, so I wanted to still use this hinge. Plus it's a Grungeboard hinge, and I really wanted a Grungeboard hinge, so I had to think of a way to make it work. Make it work, like Tim Gunn says, if you watch Project Runway. Anyway, okay, so this right here is just a grunge heart that I glimmer misted in red velvet and vintage pink, and then I rubbed the vintage photo distress stickles over it, and I added this heart, and you'll see I can swivel it and check out and make sure that my closure is staying. But what I ended up finding was this. It's a snap for a purse, and the way that it comes, hold on, let me get one. Alright, so the way that it comes is it comes like this. Here's the snap, this part, and then it's got these two, almost like a plug. Do you see that? Yeah, almost like a plug. And so what I did is I needed to make two slits similar to this, right? So what I did is I put this over where I wanted it, right? And then I took my craft knife and just like, obviously this wasn't, you know, it was like this, but I stabbed until I went all the way through the book. You know, so just kind of pressed until it went all the way through. And I did that for both, and then I just slid this in to those two slits, okay? And then when it flipped over to this side, you can see, and I'm going to put something over this to cover it, but it came through. So then I just took a hammer, because they're really hard to move, which is good for me because it'll stay put, but I took a hammer and banged them until they look like this. So they sort of folded in to one another. And then I did, for this one, I actually just put it on either side of the Grungeboard piece. Okay, so you can see in the way that this is shaped, it sort of has an indent right here. So that's where I decided to put that. So it's folded onto itself, the metal pieces, like that. So I can check it from time to time, but then to hide it, I just put the Grungeboard piece over it, and I just put that right through the hole, and then you can see that there are the legs of the brad. Right? And so hopefully that'll stay for a while. And so it's not technically the exact closure I wanted. It certainly works, and I still like it, and it doesn't interfere with the mosaic, and it works pretty well. Pretty easy to do. It's actually less complicated than, more complicated to put on. Oops, sorry. More complicated to put on, but less complicated to use for anyone who wants to look at it. Alright, so that's that. And that's the update. So thanks a lot. Bye.